Hello and welcome to the Vasily Aramean channel. My name is Michael and today we are starting our new campaign in Europa Universalis 4. This is the Ante Bellum modification and we are going to play as Byzantium. Yes, finally after a long hiatus I am starting a new campaign, and well, as I promised, we are going to do something about this crisis. Let's read the description. In AD 1204, when the Varangian Guard cast Venetian mongrels into the sea and the imperial navy set their fleet ablaze, many had hoped that the dawn of a new resurgent era was nigh. Alas, such optimism was rapidly dashed against the rocks of the Golden Horn. Despite facing a crisis which may have seen them hang from the Theodosian walls, the Angelid Dynasty nonetheless proved themselves utterly incapable of anything short of malicious negligence and gross mismanagement of the Eastern Roman Empire. With nothing but the most opulent degeneracy on full display and never a care in the world, the host of Angelos has quickly taken advantage of by the aristocracy. Having maintained their useless emperors as figureheads, the Constantinopolitan clique would further advance Byzantine nosedive, filling their coffers while the people starved and fled eastward. Even against the threat of Bulgarian invasion in the 13th century, the imperial regime did nothing in response. Yet, when Leon Gavras took up arms and saved the empire, he was hastily banished to a governorship in Anatolia. With an impending Turkish invasion, it was expected that he would perish, no longer posing a threat to the machinations of the political elite. This assumption proved false, and the savior of Thrace declared unilateral independence from Constantinople and from the empire, having concluded that the Roman dream was long dead. The imperial court was utterly livid at the succession of the Anatolian provinces, but even if they wanted to launch a war of reclamation, this was impossible in order to skim more money off the budget. The Chancellor had disbanded the imperial army in AD 1294, and in its place a truly unreliable mercenary force was instituted. This warband preferred plundering Byzantine lands to protecting them, however greatly reducing imperial rule in the countryside. Left with no army of its own and a plummeting economic situation, the Byzantine Empire would then be forced to mothball its fleet, culminating in Venice seeping into the Aegean in 130s. This with the help of an Epirot rebellion under the disgruntled Palaiologos family. The complete failure of the government in Constantinople to maintain even a shred of legitimacy and influence would end in one of the worst military blunders in Roman history. At the dawn of the 15th century, the empire would attempt to assert its hegemony over the Bulgar Empire, despite lacking a proper military, resulting in the rapid loss of Macedonia and Western Thrace to a minuscule Bulgarian detachment. Mere decades have passed since the humiliation of Thessalonica, and Constantinople is in shambles. The city's population numbers at a meager 20,000, and it is in total disrepair. The severed land connection from Attica to the capital has crippled domestic commerce, and foreign powers now prepare to swoop in and carve up what little remains. In the face of total annihilation, can the Empire pull off a miracle and ascend once more as a phoenix from the ashes? And that's, guys, a question for us all in this campaign. Will we be able to do that or not? Let's close. And then there's yet another message. The Roman Empire is but a mere shell of its former self, shadow of the glorious state that once stretched across the Mediterranean. While there is no single cause for the collapse of the empire, there is one family that keeps pushing the empire closer and closer towards total destruction, albeit unintentionally. The Angelid Dynasty, which has been ruling over Byzantium since the 12th century now, have showcased the military incompetence, corruption, overspending, and a complete disregard for state maintenance that the Byzantine Empire has come to be known for. When they sent the general Leon Gavras to defeat the Turkish invaders, the general betrayed them and established the Nicene kingdom across the Bosphorus. Leon was but an example of the nobility acting against the interest of the state. The nobility has fallen into decadence, accepting bribes while hosting lavish parties, all while enemies press their feet harder on the empire's throat. And yet, the Angelos have made little attempt to try and curb the rampant corruption. When Emperor Andronicus attempted to push back against the Bulgars with the aid of the Serbs, they never actually joined forces and instead were picked off one by one. Not only did the humiliating peace treaty bisect the empire with the loss of Thessaloniki, but it also enforced the burden of war reparations upon the Angelos. If Byzantium is to survive the centuries to coming, they must rebuild their broken state, reform their military, and prevent further incursions from rivals, lest they fall just as the worst deed. How will we ever recover from this? We lost stability, which is expected. Well, now, with all of that out of the way, this new patch, this new version of the Ante Bellum modification brought a lot of changes to the Anatolia region. So there is no more Trebizond, there are a whole bunch of new beyliks, some of them actually Orthodox and can be our allies, and they will be. And, well, the situation of Nicaea and Byzantium itself pretty much the same, apart from the fact that the financial and general situation of Byzantium in this patch is a lot worse due to the fact that there's this where's this thing? Okay, these are different modifiers, but anyway, there's a modifier, or however it's called, that is called Angelid Crisis, and it would cause numerous negative events to happen all the time. And they will not cease happening unless we finish this mission, and this mission is not an easy one to accomplish due to the fact that not only you would have to do all this stuff, but you also have to reconquer whole of Nicaea. And until we do that, a lot of admin power or a lot of our development will go away due to one event that happens periodically. And well, it's not an easy thing to do, and apart from that, a lot of stuff will happen and we have to be ready. Well, as you might notice, I already played this campaign, so some of the stuff that's going to happen is not that surprising. Also, I have to admit, they created a pretty beautiful new model for a soldier. A bit anachronistic, I assume, but pretty beautiful nonetheless. Anyway, what we have to do is, first of all, if we can boost our stability, we can't, but we will when we can. Another thing we should do, we should certainly disband at least a part of our army. We can't support an army of 30,000, so probably should disband about this much and leave us 10,000 troops. These guys will disband. We'll put our emperor as a general. Let's do just that. He's a terrible general, but we have no other choice. Another thing, we gotta choose our rivals. Obviously Bulgaria, obviously Nicaea, so, and then we should think it should be either Croatia or Venice. Let's actually go for Venice because we might want to go to war with them at some point. And then we have to choose our allies. We have 3 diplomatic slots available, so we should ally Serbia. Then we should ally one of these beyliks, or probably 2 of these beyliks, interestingly enough. This one is a monarchy, but this one is a republic, and it's Angelid Republic, which is interesting. It's some weird sort of thing, but whatever. Now, Serbia, probably both of these beyliks. Another thing we should choose are policies, or rather our privileges. Let's take this one. Oversight by clergy. Let's go for, I don't know, for this as well. Then burghers, we shall go for free enterprise and private trade fleets. Would be nice. And then let's go for right of council and supremacy over the crown. These are the ones that I usually take. Next we want to get an agenda from our boys. Okay, these will want stability, these want a fortress or a castle in a province. We don't have money for that. And these guys would want us to actually somewhat develop Constantinople. I actually go for this one because we need money and we actually need to develop Constantinople. But we would need a lot more diplomatic power for that. I'm not sure if we can hire anyone, we don't have money for that. Another thing that we should do, we should immediately bring our troops to here, just in case Bulgaria attacks us in Constantinople. And another thing we might want to do is to send these guys to protect trade. Let's protect our trade in Alexandria. That will bring us most money, income. Let's marry these guys. We got a wife. And then let's try to ally both of these boys if we can. Because in the future we might be able to actually let's improve relationships with them. That way they will actually accept the alliance at some point. We might vassalize them both when we reconquer Nicaea. And no, I don't want to have you as an ally. Because why would I want to do that? Now let us put our army maintenance at negative, so that we could have this army here. And actually get some positive treasury, positive balance. And now our fleet, we shall detach all the galleys. So talking about a fleet, is it beyond our limit? No, it's not. Detach the galleys, let us split them in 2, and if possible we shall protect our coastline in Constantinople as well as Ragusa. That way, hopefully, not necessary, but hopefully, we will be able to protect our coast from constant raiding by these guys, annoying scum, and all of these guys in here. These, and these. They are all annoying scum. Now, since we actually rivaled Venice, We shall issue embargo towards them, who are also our enemies, Bulgaria and Nicaea. Let's issue embargo towards them as well. That's done. Now, can we do that? It's actually pretty expensive to develop Constantinopolis. Now, is there anything we can do about that? Actually, there is. We can go for encourage development, consecrate metropolitan. Now we got 2 of them, and then we can choose this icon of Christ Pantocrator, and that would make the development somewhat cheaper, I hope. Let's wait for a month. 78. A whole 10 points cheaper, which is pretty good. Now we are protecting our coast, so the raids are not happening, thankfully. So now the Osman and Sand Trading Company has as many enemies as they do friends, both within the cities and along the vast trade routes their caravans dominate. In order to deter attacks against their merchant and assets, the Osmanoglu family under Murad I, its head, in the mid-late 14th century AD, has established a private security group which would be loyal solely to the family. Nicknamed Janissary Corps due to the sourcing of young recruits from across the Balkans and Near East, this elite force of eager and able-bodied warriors is strong enough to take on hostile actions against their paymasters in Constantinople. Legendary Albanian mercenary captain and Bulgar war veteran Cert Skanderbeg Kastrioti, nicknamed thusly for his Alexandresque martial genius, presently holds command over the force and is himself no stranger in the imperial court. When not presiding over janissary operations, Skanderbeg is often contracted as either a field commander by the Byzantine Imperial Army or advisor to military high command. Such as a larger-than-life character only appears once, and so Osman and Sons sees fit to utilize his skills as much as possible. And let us get him. Let's put him to command our armies. Now, let's invest what we can in Constantinopolis. We'll get the money from that, and oh boy, do we need money. We need a lot of money, because a lot of bad stuff is going to happen, unfortunately. This thing about this crisis is not a joke. A lot of bad stuff is going to happen to us. Okay, now we got a Turkish merchant dynasty, blah blah blah. Okay, claiming descent from a little known bey by the name of Osman. The Osmanoglu family are nothing short of celebrities to the Greek people of the Near East. Their greatest accomplishment after Osman's exile into the Byzantine Empire was their creation of the wealthiest and most respected merchant guild in the Balkans and Near East, the Osman and Sons Trading Company. This colossal trade empire has brought in enough wealth and favors over the years to have thus far ensured the Byzantine survival despite the ailing realm's overwhelmingly sorry state. Headquartered in Great Constantinople, Osman and Sons is the primary benefactor of numerous spectacles such as the steep hippodrome races and ship races in the Bosporus Strait, as well as sole proprietor and founder of the world-renowned Ottoman Bazaar. Headed since the age of 16 by the esteemed Murad Osmanoglu, the second of his name to the preside over such a prestigious organization, the affectionately dubbed Sultan of Rum is preparing his favorite son Mehmed for the future role of leadership. Under Murad and his descendants, Osman and Sons will surely flourish well into the future, as has for many generations prior. Interesting. Local trade power plus 10%, which is great. And now when it comes to Nicaea, let us start building a spy network on them. We at least can claim the coastal regions, and then we attack them. or we wait for them to attack us. If that's going to happen, that's actually even better. And well, I completely forgot that I should improve relationship with these guys. They are also allied to Zangites, and I want to ally Zangites myself, interestingly. Yeah, well, we'll see who they like more, myself or the Nicaeans. We are getting at least some sort of money. Now let's invest this thing here once. I think we can invest in this as well. And once we click this button for a second time, we'll get the development to 30, which would give us this thing, and that's great. There are a couple very negative things that are going to happen to us, and those are the independence of Morea, as well as the attack by the Bulgarians. Those are scripted events, and I'm not sure if they can be avoided, so we shall be ready. And that's why I'm trying to get at least some sort of money going in. Also let us boost our stability. We are combating corruption right now, slowly. Can't afford anything more than that. Also, surprisingly, our current emperor is a pretty good guy. He's 39 years old, he's conqueror. Well, in our current situation that's not necessarily the case, but anyway. And he's righteous. So he's kind of one of the good ones in this pathetic, idiotic dynasty. Well, we shall see if that's true. And if he lives up to his name. Now let's take a look at that. 84 against 100. 16. Let's wait for it. We can get it to 100 actually. You can also invest once into Callipolis. Or Adrianopolis, I'm sorry. It wasn't Callipolis, it was Adrianopolis. The devastation will go away sooner or later. Here I would rather lose some prestige. The issue here is that unless we are attacked by them, there's nothing, or at least not much we can do. We are pretty damn weak. There's a chance for us to defeat the Bulgarians. If they attack us, we can just send our army all the way to their capital and we can take it in that way. If we have a pretty fast siege, we can demand at least these 4 provinces back for ourselves, but apart from that, these fuckers are pretty strong. But then again, we've got a good alliance. These are only allied to Sicily. And considering that Sicily won't be able to send any troops on land, we might be able to... Okay, so there's one of those events. Your Majesty, dire news! The bastards, descendants of that Gavras traitor, have covertly struck at our moment of weakness and sent us a message. Surrender Smyrna or prepare for war. How should we respond? Of course we should rush to defend our rightful territory, but on the other hand, maybe we should let this one go. Our situation isn't exactly geared for the war at the moment. We little lost so much, we not another inch. So they did declare war. Okay. Damn, that's not good. Go to Callipolis if you can. Or Constantinopolis. Go somewhere, for God's sake. Now we gotta take all of our fleets and put them all to a single province. go. And when it comes to the well, the problem here is there are two more events that can strike at the same time. If, say, the Mauryan independence will fire, that would suck big time, so we gotta defeat them fast. Battle Sea of Marmara was a victory. Send these guys there. I mean, it is in our best interest to have full control over the sea. There we go. Come on. The sad part that the pirates will still be able to take the stuff from us, but no. Now let's send these boys to Smyrna. And remember, we have all the allies on our side. Well, they have the Artukids on their side then. So do they. And yeah, right away, these fuckers raided our coasts. Nothing we can do about it right now. Now let us... Okay, our allies already besieging this stuff. Will they try to attack us right away? Are they really that fucking crazy? We are going to crush their army. I hope. Yes, we did. Now what we can do, we can actually try to get the Artukids fast out of this war. That would make it easy for us to deal with the Nicaeans. For that we would have to send our fleet to here. We don't have any claims on them, so whatever. That would probably completely destroy their army. So now, this is one of those events where the people are trying to escape our country to the Nicaeans as if it's like safer or something. Whatever. I mean, you can pause and read the whole thing. I mean, if I will be reading all of these things, the episode will be too fucking long, so I would rather lose some of the admin power than the loss of development in our provinces. As we crush these boys. Now what we're gonna do, we gotta sit on Teke. We're just gonna sit on it and do nothing. Let's increase the speed just a wee bit. Now, the bad thing is that due to the fact that we don't have claims on them and we don't mark any of these provinces as essential for ourselves, these guys can actually take them for themselves, and that's not optimal, because I want the whole thing for me. But we shall see how it goes. Let's see who they will give it. Okay, they gave it to me. Great. Distrustful military. As our political situation worsens, we are barely able to maintain peace within their own military. Within their own military. Oh, that's a weird construction here. But anyway, let's do. There's two options: morale of armies or stability hit to declare war. Well, since I'm not going to declare war, I'll go with this. Now, they may be willing to leave. No, they aren't. So we gotta take the city if we wish to do anything more than that. Another interesting question is whether or not we'll be able to annex the whole thing right away. We will be. Great. So if that will be a complete victory for us, there will be a complete annexation of Nicaea right away, which is great. And well, from these guys we shall simply demand all the stuff that we can demand from them. God damn it, I need these diplomatic points. Go for that, get some money. Very little, unfortunately. I expected more money. Why? Oh, because they lost a fight in here, I see. I hope they would take Avidos by that time. Ain't gonna happen. As sad as it is. Anyway, Teke is going to fall right away pretty soon. And then there will be no Artukids in this war, and we'll be able to crush their armies fully and completely conquer them. Well, unless there will be any other event about Moria or Bulgaria threatening war. Okay, I would rather do that than lose stability. Talking about stability, can we boost it? Not quite yet, but we will be able to do that pretty soon. Now, these fuckers are ready to leave. What is your force? 10% of their income? Treaties with Nicaea? No. That's a very bad proposal. What I wish is to do this, all of your money. I'll pillage your capital. I will... what else can I do? You'll transfer, okay, you won't transfer that. I'm not interested in that actually. Okay, that would be a good peace treaty. And now it's just the Nicaeans. Let's go here. Right. Now we can send our fleet to, even though they already control the straits, so there's no need for that. Okay, we can't do that, we have to send this army here first. God damn it, we gotta send it actually here first, interestingly enough. Now let's fuck him up. In Athens, we need that. Let's go for base production. Can we? No, we can't crush it. Oh, they're going to then its sleeve, so there's a chance we can crush it. And it was crushed. Great, that's amazing. So they got no army left. They got no army left at all. There we go, then we go to Mantesha. Done. Go trolleys. They lost this war. They lost it badly. Nothing they can do about it. We build trolleys, then we go to Tiatera. Damn it, if we want to do that, we gotta go this way. Okay, now they're going there. Let's go to Nicaea itself. Now, the church reject the classical philosophy, blah blah blah. I think we should... That way we'll get 10 revolutionaries, or rather the religious rebels in Athena. Okay, but we will get the institution spread, which is great. Worth it. Now let's go here. Oh, damn it, that would be a pretty long way there. Come on, you gotta besiege it, for guts. Oh my god, they are stupid there and besieging it. Can you hear my cat? He was meowing like crazy. Whatever. Now the war is gonna be finished pretty soon. Stop it. Spoils of war. So, this is the event when Bulgaria is demanding the stuff from us. I mean, listen, there are two ways we can go with this. Since Nicaea is almost completely crushed, and there's no way they can do much about it, we can send the Bulgarians to hell. They will attack us. We'll finish off the Nicaeans, and then we finish off the Bulgarians. Oh my god, that's so difficult. Or another option, we can get indebted to these guys, and we shall pay them off. Let's pay them off for now. Okay, we gotta finish this war first and then do anything else. Unfortunately, we are not in a position to fight another war. What the hell are they doing? What is this movement here? I don't understand. It's so stupid. So silly. Just take these provinces and get the hell out of here. Now we might want to send our fleet there. And there we go. Nicaea will be taken pretty soon. Guns of Urban. So we can get some military power and a new. Being at a crossroads between civilization, our ailing empire has always been partial towards stumbling upon strange goods from faraway lands. As of late, a new oddity has swept through the local trade hubs: advanced artillery weapons, some of which can fit within the palm of one's hand, originated from a most distant eastern kingdom of Goryeo. While these foreign treasures mostly consist of childish trinkets and indecipherable designs scrawled in strange characters, the Osman and Sons Trading Company have partnered with the Magyar siege weapon expert Orban to construct for us the most useful of these aberrancies. The first are a series of arrow-slinging wagons, Hvachha, which utilize the power of gunpowder to propel arrows to lethal, monstrous speeds. Said Hvachha can be made even more fearsome by loading them with a horror unlike anything seen in Europe: divine machine arrows. Shinjo arrows which explode on contact as if they were cannonballs. In addition, Orban's is an expert in cannon warfare and claims he can build for us a gigantic cannons that can blast the walls of Babylon itself. Should we pay the daunting sum for their construction, these horrors could give us an unholy edge over our neighbors and make our fallen empire a resurgent phoenix. So for 100 gold we can get these guys. That will be a lot cheaper for us to have. For Rome survival, okay, so we can have him either as a military engineer or a siege engineer. Okay, let's do it. Come on, Nicaea, you've got a fall. 42. We're actually not even losing that much money, which is surprising. 42 still. Oh god damn it, still 42. Then there's another event of this sort. I mean, there are two options that you can take, either this one or this one, and this would get us quite a lot of stuff that can go wrong. So I would rather lose this. Yes, so it's 100% victory, full annexation and all of your money. Great. First great victory, my friends. So Nicaea is dealt with. Defeat the traitors. The course will be removed and we'll get 10 army tradition and early prestige. Great. So there are no cores of Nicaea, but the problem is there are no cores of ourselves as well. And now the corruption is going rampant and, well, Croatia will be our next. Or should we even make Croatia? Or should I make Seljuks? Yes. Well, I think that's a good moment to finish the episode. We destroyed the Nicaeans. They have no cores, which means that they probably won't rebel as often. Another thing that we shall do probably in the next episode is to attack the Bulgarians. Once we core all of these provinces, we'll attack the Bulgarians and take our cores back. We are on our way to greatness. And now we have to stabilize our court, which would mean to put our corruption at less than 1%, which is difficult. We would have to have an advisor. We would have to recover from war, and we would have to have an army of 100% land force limit, which is 11 at this moment. And we also have to deal with these rebels. So yeah, the situation is still far from perfect for our empire, but we are doing a lot better. And so, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please remember to like, share this video and subscribe and press the bell button or whatever. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, my friends.